Hello, hello, hello. I hope you're having a beautiful day wherever you are in the world. My name is Misako Envela, and thank you so much for pressing play on today's video. This video is coming to you a day later because I had a really scary experience, and I don't want to fearmonger. That's never what I want to do on my channel, but I don't feel like I can continue making videos without addressing what has happened and what I learned from what happened. The first lesson that I learned through this experience is that I don't know if solo traveling is the time to test how far you can go, because as a woman solo traveling, you're already testing it in a way. You just are. And I'm a big I can do everything alone. I can take all the risks. I can do anything that you can do with someone else by myself. And I learned that that's just it's not always the case. And I'm happy that I'm safe and can tell you about this story. And maybe it's not as bad as I'm making it out to be, but in the moment I was absolutely petrified. So as some of you may know, I'm in Thailand. I flew into Bangkok. I was there for a couple days. It was cool. It reminded me a lot of Mexico City. So much to do. It's huge. I went to some temples. It was wonderful. But I wanted to come to Thailand to experience more of the nature, see the beaches, and just have a more relaxed time. So I took a flight to Krabi a couple days after I got here. Immediately when I landed, I'm like, oh, this feels nice. I'm excited to explore this side of Thailand. I get to my Airbnb. My first mistake. I booked an Airbnb that was about 20 minutes away from the main area because I wanted something that was more nature. It was on a cute farm, but I looked at the property and I was like, I will probably feel a little spooked at night because there are not many people around. There's it's sort of the Airbnb on this big piece of land. There are neighbors, but not many. And I'm so far off the main road on this property that it would I knew in my gut that it probably wasn't the best idea, but I wanted to push myself and do something in nature. I've never been camping. I was like, this could be a nice introduction to camping. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have booked something like that by myself. And now I know. But the reviews were also really great. And I saw other women had shared that they had a lovely time. Now, I don't know if those women were there alone, but that made me feel okay, I can do this too. So I booked the place. I asked the host if he was on the property, and he shared that he would be in Chiang Mai. But he said the neighbors were around and could help me. And they were really lovely. I met one woman. So that was my first mistake. I arrived and he had mentioned, he's like, you're going to need to, rent probably a scooter to get into town. And look at me. I'm not getting on a scooter. No! I said in my last video, I think, or no, I don't know when I said this, but I'm very risk averse. You're not going to catch me ziplining, skydiving, none of that. And I put a scooter or scooter riding in that category. And so, but then once I realized how far I was from everything, I got to the place. He's like, I put the scooter out in front, and I asked the woman, the neighbor, because I was renting it, or I was going to rent it from the neighbor, oh, can you teach me how to drive it? I've never driven a scooter before. And I don't know why I thought that it was going to be easy. I feel like people talk about riding scooters around Thailand and Bali it's a super easy task. So I was like, maybe I'll be able to figure this out. And also, she was trying to teach me, but she obviously speaks Thai, so I was trying to learn by just watching her. But I couldn't really get clarity on certain things, but she was doing her absolute best, just showing me this to stop. We were getting by with just her showing me. And then I got on it. Not even. Again, I'm laughing now, and I'm going to be laughing about this video, but in the moment when I was experiencing these things, it was not funny. Like, I was really down atrocious. So I'm getting on the scooter. I can immediately tell, like, this is not going to be for me. I didn't learn how to ride a bike until, like, pretty late in my life. Scooter? Mm-mm. So I get on it, and like, people say scooter, like, this felt like a motorcycle. Like, it was big and heavy. And so I'm trying to learn how to ride it, and 5 minutes in, I'm underneath it. Girl, oh my gosh. I couldn't figure out the gas brake. It falls on top of me. My leg's all messed up. My foot's bleeding and I can't get up. Like, it's pinning me to the ground. I had crashed out, and not in the party kind of way. Like, I was really crashed out on the dirt. Like, and thankfully she was there. So she ran over and picked it up, and she was like, get on the back. Like, we'll ride back to the house. I said, I'm not getting on the back of that. I limped my little sorry behind back to the Airbnb. She came running out with a first aid kit. She felt so bad, and I felt bad. I felt terrible, and she was like, please, no, it's okay. And I messaged the host. Well, he had already messaged me because she went in and messaged him, and he was like, I'm so sorry. I hope that you're okay. The best thing is that you're safe. I'm like, please tell your neighbor that I'm like so sorry, and that I'm okay. So I order a Grab to take me to the beach. I went to this cute vegan spot to have a little lunch. I was like, okay, we're back on track. I go sit on the beach. It's really lovely. I take a nap, and I wake up and my stomach is like not feeling good. Like, I am feeling like I'm about to have food poisoning. And I was like, oh my God, like, this cannot be happening. I'm so far, like, I'm like 30 minutes away from where I'm staying. I need to get back. So after a couple hours, I like get over to where you can call a car, and I call a car. Now I get in this taxi, and this is the thing about being a woman traveling alone. Sometimes people are just being nice and they want to know about your travels, but I don't know if you're asking me all of these questions about if I'm staying where you're dropping me off, how long I'm staying there, how long, like the name of the spot, how long I've been there, all these things. 99% of the time, I know that that's just coming from a curious place. But there's still that 1% chance that it's not coming from like an innocent, just curious place. And something that makes me super uncomfortable is when I get into cabs and people start asking me, like, because we can talk about anything, but like when you start asking me, you know, if I'm traveling alone, all these things about, like, basically I feel like you're trying to figure out if I'm here alone, how long I'm going to be at the place that you're dropping me off at. And if that is where I'm staying, like if that's where I'll be sleeping. And for me, it's super unsettling. And it's just something that I think women have to be more cautious about, because you just never know. And I want to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. I really do. But I also have to be mindful and prioritize my safety. And so he started asking me all these things, and it wasn't like a back and forth, you know, of him sharing like his life. And I was asking, oh, are you from here? Yeah. And then he would just go into drilling me. And I'm like, something doesn't feel right. And so I just got quiet. And I hate doing that, because I'm like, I don't want to be rude, but I also don't want to feel unsafe while I'm traveling alone. So eventually we get to my spot, and he drops me off, and I'm kind of walking slowly, because I'm like, I don't want him to see where I'm going, but at the same time, it's like only really my spot on the property, this big like piece of land. So I'm feeling a little like weird about that, but it definitely distracted me from my stomach pain. So anyway, I get in the house and doing a little bit, and I start winding down. I close all the blinds, and I take a shower and I get into bed pretty early. Around 10 o'clock, I'm woken up by what sounds like someone outside my door. And I'm like, Now, there are animals on the property, but for the short amount of time that I had been there, they're pretty far off. So like I'd never seen them come up to the house. And like I said, there are not many people on this land. It's like me and the neighbors. And I didn't hear anyone say anything. So I was like, they're probably not coming over around 10 o'clock. And, maybe it's an animal, but I don't know. So I'm a little startled by that. So I sit up, and you already know I'm sleeping with 2 nightlights on, so. But I mentioned the part about closing all the blinds because I didn't want people to see inside. So I sit up, and then I hear what I believe was someone trying to get in to the bathroom windows, pressing against the bathroom windows. This was the moment where I realized, like, this is the first time I had ever really felt alone while traveling. Like, I'm always, I've traveled alone many, many times, but this was the first time I was like, I'm alone. I haven't shared where I'm staying with anyone. Huge mistake. So stupid. I haven't shared, I think I had sent it to my mom, but I couldn't remember. No one knows where I am. I also realized I don't even know like the emergency number in Thailand. No one knows where I am. I don't know anyone here. And I'm on this big piece of land. I don't know it really well. Like, I don't know if I could even find my way to the main road in the dark if I needed to. So I am panicking at this point. I immediately start hysterically crying. Like I am. And then I don't know what got into me, but I just started sending my address to everyone. Calling my cousins, she didn't answer. I texted her boyfriend to tell her to call me, and I'm FaceTiming her, and I'm just like, I think that someone is trying to get into my unit. And the saddest thing was that like I just wanted someone on FaceTime to like see if something happened. I'm like, at the very least, no one's coming to save me, but at least then they'll know that something happened. And I had never had that like thought while traveling alone. And so I call her, and also I called Energy. So before I was talking to my friend Energy, you might know her if you watch YouTube. She has an incredible channel. She's like so good because I knew she was in Bali and she would be awake. She's talking me through. She's like, what's in the apartment? What can you grab? And I'm just like, she's trying to calm me down. And I needed to talk to someone. Like, I didn't know what else to do. The Airbnb host finally answered, and he's like, oh, it's probably just an animal. Don't worry. Nothing has ever happened on the property before. And I'm like, that may be true, but I don't really want to like find out. And so he told the neighbors to turn the lights on, and I'm like freaking out. And then I hear it again. And I'm like, the thing about the situation is I don't know the neighbors. I don't know anyone in the area. Like, I don't know if it's the taxi guy that I felt uncomfortable around. I don't know if it's an animal. I don't know if it's the neighbors. It's like in that moment I realized like I don't know who I can trust, and I don't want to really I don't want to go against my gut that says something is wrong. Like, you are not safe and you need to get out of here. Because I was like, I need to get a cab out here and I need to go. The sound happens again. I turn the light on and it stops. Now this freaks me out even more because I'm like, if it made me feel like it was a person because they stopped when I turned the light on. And so now I'm panicking even more, and I feel like I need to listen to my body in this moment, and I need to get out of there. I start packing up all my stuff. Thankfully, I haven't really unpacked. I want to check if the camera's rolling again. Okay. Thankfully, I haven't unpacked because I had just got there earlier that day. And I pack my stuff up. I turn all the lights on. And I'm like, I haven't heard the noise. Maybe whatever it was got spooked off. I am going to get out of here. And I ordered a grab. And I just asked him, which thankfully I could even get one, because earlier the host had said like, oh, you should rent a scooter because it's sometimes kind of hard to get a grab out there because we're like so far away from the main area. But thankfully there was one that was just a few minutes away, and I asked him to get as close as he could to the property. And he came and helped me, and I left, and I came to this hotel. Online it didn't even say that there were rooms available, but I was like, I just need to get out of here so that I can function, because I was shutting down. Like, I felt like, there's part of me that was like, I am guided and protected, like I will be fine. But then there was another part of me that was like, girl, you're out here alone, and this was just like such a dumb idea, and now you're about to pay the price. I was so, and I didn't expect to react like that in a moment. Like, I knew I had to get out of there, but I was like trying to tell myself like, no, it's okay. Like the Uber driver said, the host said that nothing bad happens out here, and like, like, just as time went on, it was like I was trying to talk myself out of it, but like I was like, my gut has never been wrong before, and I made a point to lock all the windows before, because it's the kind of thing you just slide up and like anyone can get in. So I knew that I had locked everything, but I just was like, I don't know if this is worth sticking around to find out. So really, like, when I say packed up, I just closed my suitcase and I got my bags and I got in the car. And I came to this hotel where I haven't eaten anything in 2 days, because I'm just trying to like, I feel a lot of shame around the fact that now I'm like, was I being dramatic? Was it stupid to book that place? Yes. Like, it's made me question just a lot of things, and like, it could have just been an animal. It could have just been whatever, but like, I have never been more scared in my life, and never felt more alone. And then like, thinking back, I'm like, I probably should have just left my stuff, Yeah, so that was probably stupid too. So I'm here, and thankfully I'm safe, and yeah, I learned a lot. Like, I'll never book something in that remote of an area again. I will know the emergency numbers. I don't know if I'll answer all those questions again, because I think the real root of it was just like, I felt so uneasy about that taxi ride that I just couldn't really rest. And I've had things happen like that before, but I've always been staying in like a pretty populated area. So like, it's like, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't have answered all those questions, but I knew I was in like a big apartment, or like you couldn't really tell where I was staying, but I just felt so vulnerable. And yeah, maybe like this doesn't sound super scary to someone else, but for me, it was really terrifying. And I hope no one else has to experience that. I'm trying not to let it sour my time here, because I know that like Thailand has so much to offer, but like, I have not left my room. I've not eaten anything in 2 days. I'm just sort of like, I'm just feeling bad. And I'm so grateful and lucky to be safe. And really, like, it could have just been an animal, but something was telling me like, no, like, you got to get out of there. And so I just have never had an experience like that solo traveling, and people ask me about safety all the time, and really it's never been like tested. Like, I've never had to navigate a situation like that. I feel like I need one of those, like, I don't know, like a taser or something, so I feel like better. But it rocked me for sure, and I know that I'll bounce back. And I want to show you the beautiful things I did in Bangkok, and I've been taking Thai lessons, and so virtually, and I want to get into that, but I just felt like it would be like dishonest of me to not share this. And so yeah, and this can happen anywhere. This is not like a Thailand exclusive experience. Like, I know that this could happen anywhere in the world. And so yeah, that this is this is one of the downsides of traveling alone. And we will persevere. So that's my that's what I came to share with you today. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for pressing play on today's video. Thank you so much for showing up for me. Thank you so much for being patient with me. And as always, thank you for being here. I'll see you soon. Bye.